Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good
Thank you guys
morning.
so much for tuning in to another Learn Biz the Podcast episode. I am Sandy B, and I'm here with the always lovely Lisa K. Crawford. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Sandy. I am doing good this morning. Glad to be here.
Look, it is a great day. It is back to school for the kiddos in some parts of Florida, and I'm so excited that my nephew is back in the mix, child. He is much needing school mode. Um, so definitely sending some prayers out to the teachers today because they back in the
Yes,
mix. The school administrators praying for the safety of the kiddies because
yes.
we've heard too many episodes at schools in this past year even. Um, but yeah, it's a great day to chat and also know that we are still celebrating National Black Business Month all month long in this month of August. And we already have some folks getting on. My Sean Denise got that notification and
Good
she's like, hello,
morning.
good morning. Good
Good
morning, my Sean
morning.
Denise. Thank you for joining us. Look, my Sean is on the road to 10,000 subscribers and I am
Wow.
definitely one of her avid watchers. I don't know how she does it, but she pumps out those episodes, and I'm just like, man,
She's
I need to get
awesome.
a little sampling of that so that we can get this
Yes.
going.
Teach a course, my Sean, because you're awesome.
But shout out to my Sean Denise. Please subscribe to her channel. You will always get the up to the minute about what's going on in our world, and we need to get ourselves together. She talks a lot about Black women and how we need to get our lives together. But
Right.
10K all the way. Looking forward to you achieving that next milestone. Shout out to
Absolutely.
you, my Sean, for sure. Um, so this morning, since we're celebrating National Black Business Month, and since we are the home of the Black entrepreneur, and we spend a great deal of time chatting with entrepreneurs in various industries, we figure, you know what, we need to talk a little bit about how we as Black business owners can support each other.
Yes.
Many times we neglect to recognize how important our support of each other is.
True.
Because it's not just about us getting clients or family or friends to support us, but it's also us as Black business owners doing these shout outs, doing these supportive moments, and recognizing each other. Good morning, Rigo. Thank you always for
Good
supporting
morning,
LearnBiz the
Rigo.
podcast.
Yes.
So,
Appreciate Rigo always.
it's a great thing to be able to celebrate one another and know that we are all trying to attain different goals and we have the support of other business owners who are in the struggle as well.
Right.
So this morning we're going to talk a little bit about supporting each other in business, and then we're going to do a few features of some businesses that we have interviewed, local South Florida as well as out of Florida businesses. So we're not limited regionally to our South Florida area.
Right.
We are trying to target folks across the United States. So if you ever
Yes.
have someone, send them our way. Um, but what are your thoughts, Lisa, about this concept of supporting each other in business?
Well, it's vital. It's so necessary toward overall growth and sustainability. I mean, it's a word that we hear when that's used constantly. When you talk about positive things and helping things to be around, we want businesses to be able to be self-sustaining from generation to generation,
Right.
and it starts by us depending on one another. So the concept is beautiful. It has to happen in order for us to stick around.
And I definitely think that it starts with us identifying businesses and individuals that we can support.
Yes.
Even in just looking at the roster of folks on our podcast that we've interviewed, many of those folks are colleagues of you or I, or
Yes.
both of us combined. Many of those folks are folks that we've actually used their services or purchased their products, and taken advantage of the benefits of their business. And we continue to support their business in any way we can. I always talk with Lisa about, we go to a nail salon, Black owned.
Hmm.
I always try to tap into resources where I can hire somebody as a contractor, Black owned, as much as I can. And
Yes.
there are some deficits, right? We have some areas where sometimes it's difficult. Like, for example, I am in need of, contract services for things like guardianship and other things. And it's very, very hard to find folks like us in these areas. because it's just not a common place for us to practice, right? You might find a lot in criminal law or family law in certain other areas, but estate planning, probate, guardianship, those are a
Yes.
bit more difficult. Um,
Yes. Yes.
in real estate, I know that you can find a lot of, folks who black owned, companies, mortgage companies and things like that. But at the levels of the funding, Lisa, do you see a lot of, black owned, funders or mortgage lenders or anything like that?
Well, I think Black people pay attention to Black-owned businesses in these industries, trying to support them and helping them to flourish and grow, because
Right.
it's been like trying to grow against the current, in many ways for small Black businesses. However, I think there's still just a few, you know, in each industry. Realtors, to be honest with you, it's less than 5% nationwide.
Oh,
When you
wow.
talk about luxury realtors, it's less than 2% nationwide. Is that to say that Black people are not buying luxury property? No. Um, it's all about marketing and getting ourselves in these spaces so that we can take advantage of the business that's there. So there's a few in these industries. It seems like a lot if you're paying attention, and if you're probably Black, you just pay attention to the few. But we need to grow our numbers, just like nationally with lawyers. We're only about 5% total of the national
Yeah.
population. It seems like it's a lot, Sandy, because we know a few of us that run in the same circles. But when you take that Google calendar and you look down on the Google Earth, you're like, oh, we need to grow those numbers.
Right.
So that's kind of where we are.
It's funny when you say realtors are at such a percentage, I would have never thought that because I know so many realtors. But when you think about it in the grand scale, right, it's not until you go to a realtor event or you go to like a conference or convention that you start to realize, oh yeah, it's just a few of us, right? Like
Yeah,
it's not that many of us. And I
right.
feel the same way about the, practice of law. A lot of times I'll go to these events and I'm like, man, I see a lot of Black attorneys in my day to day, but there is like a very minute number when it comes to the larger lawyer population. But it's just us taking advantage of opportunities to find ways to support each other,
Yeah.
find ways to bring each other into the fold. And I think also something that we don't do a lot as Black business owners is really get engaged in organizations for our profession. Whether it's the National Realtor Association, or American Bar Association, or the medical associations, or whatever trade or field that you're in.
Hmm.
We don't really, at least I don't see us in as enough numbers, and I don't know if it's because we feel a bit intimidated to participate, or if it's just like we don't care about that stuff. Like I start to ask myself, why are we not in more numbers in these organizations when many of us are engaging in some of these businesses, but we don't participate, like we don't become members in these organizations or in these I don't
We
know,
have
these
we
groups.
have we have to work. We have to work. We have to go to work.
Oh my
Honestly,
god.
some of participating in some of these organizations is almost like a luxury or
Oh
a
my
privilege
god.
to have the time to be able to take the time out. And hey, so once again, yeah, we need more vacations too.
Well, you forgot to add the most important piece is we gotta have that bread in
I'm
order to
making myself
like
cry this morning.
look. We also have to have the money to participate. A lot of these memberships are quite pricey. A lot of the activities that they do. I
Oh,
mean, if you remember, just a month ago, we went to our bar event, and it was just like everything was astronomical. And that's just to participate at the core level. That's not including the other events that they do. And I say the same for real estate or any other profession. It's like you may go to a conference or something. The conference itself is expensive, but then if you want to do some of the networking activities, oh my gosh, that's at another premium. And then if you want to actually stay on site with wherever they're going, that's at another premium. So, it explains a lot why we don't do that. But I think one goal that we should have individually is to support others in any way we can and say, you know what, I'm going to go to such and such event. Let's go together. or I'm going to participate in this organization. They're having a discount or they're having a special right now. Because sometimes things happen and we don't really
Right.
share the information to say, hey, they're doing a discount sale until the end of the month. You should check that out or whatnot. So those are ways that we can really support each other and
I
have
think
some
you're
direction.
I think you're right. You make a good point about that. It's a matter of sometimes picking up the phone or using email or texting your colleagues and friends about an event. We should not keep information like that to ourselves.
Yeah,
We have to make it a point to share with 10 to 15 people when there's some event that's supporting Black entrepreneurs.
right.
That's an easy way for us to share support with each other.
That
Good
is the
point,
ultimate
Sandy.
truth. That's the
Yes.
ultimate truth. So, in due fashion, I think as we are wrapping up to this morning, we definitely want to shout out some of our Black entrepreneurs that we have spent some time with and gained some knowledge from. We always want to make sure that you are taking advantage of the opportunity to follow these many Black entrepreneurs that are out here doing some really great
Yes.
work in the community. Oh, good morning, Doug. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey, Doug.
um, so, it's National Black Business Month. We always want to feature and highlight Black businesses that are in our community. So let's start with highlighting our own LearnBiz LLC. We basically provide support and education and resources for Black entrepreneurs specifically. And we do a lot of our peer-to-peer education right here on our YouTube channel. So we always appreciate you guys supporting us and tuning in. But if you have not checked out our Instagram page, please take some time to check it out. We have been going on Instagram Live to share a couple of things. We recently did a feature with the Dunn's Josephine Hotel here in
Yeah.
historic Overtown in Miami, in downtown Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They have a wine tasting where they have a collab with Quia Organic Wines. And we also did an interview with the founder of Quia Organic Wines as well. So you can find some tidbits from our interviews and some of the different conversations that we have throughout the time. And you could also see some snippets from some of our previous interviews as well. I mean, we've interviewed truckers and speakers and hosts and all kinds of folks. So definitely check that out. Next, we want to feature Dr. Tasha. If you are familiar with Dr. Tasha, you will know that she is a extremely animated person. She definitely lives the work that she does. She's a clinical psychologist. She does what's called a nooner on Mondays on IG Live from 12:15 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is basically drive-by therapy. So if you want to come on and, ask some questions or talk about a topic, she is available live at no cost to you. You can come on there if you want to share a little bit of your business. But, you don't have to get too detailed, but she does a nooner. And during her nooner, she actually talks about, current issues. I remember she was talking about how to not emasculate a man the other day. She said emasculating nooner. For those of you that are in relationships, it was a great one. I really enjoyed some of the tips that she talked about in terms of making sure that you are supporting your partner in ways that are not emasculating, and also making sure that you are cognizant of the different signs, right? When you're talking to somebody, you can kind of tell how they're reacting to some of your antics and behaviors. And it's mutual too, right? So she's not just talking about women, but she does talk a lot about women's reactions in relationships and the way that men interpret some of women's behaviors and vice versa. But someone to definitely check out. She is on Instagram at Doctora Tasha. So you could see her name right there, but definitely check her out. She was also a guest on our podcast.
Yes.
So you can check out her episode as well. And she was a featured speaker during our Entrepreneur Mindset Summit. She closed out the summit. So if you just wanted to scroll through the summit and catch the last part, which was like the last 10-15 minutes, Dr. Tasha brought that whole thing home. So you want to check that out.
Very, very powerful.
All right, next on our list is press release marketing. This is with Miss Crystal Chanel.
Right.
She is all things social media, websites, graphics, branding. But when it comes to marketing, she is like a go-to all in of herself. And she does a lot of hosting of events. She definitely promotes a lot of different businesses. I know she's done some here in South Florida. She's in Portland, Oregon, where she supports entrepreneurs there. And she does have clients, across different markets. So definitely check her out. And her fiance, she's newly engaged to her fiance, Chef Kitchen Killer, who I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
feature next. But definitely check out Press Release Marketing. It's a full service marketing firm. And, she works with everybody, but she definitely has a heart for Black entrepreneurs. So
Oh,
definitely check her
yes,
out.
definitely.
This chef right here has the key to my soul. Um, I've known Chef for
Killer.
many, many years. I mean, even before the chef life and my lawyer life, I actually had a business a number of years back where I had women's sports teams, and we were doing pickup games and things like that. And Chef was one of my players on my team that I put together. And ever since then, we've kept in contact. And when she became a chef, man, I was definitely one of her major supporters. I don't see any posts here just yet, but definitely check her out, Kitchen Killer.
Yeah.
You can find her on some different platforms with that name, Kitchen Killer. And you can also
Mm-hmm.
find her through Press Releases page because she does a lot of promo for her fiance, her now fiance. So
Awesome.
another company that I definitely support. I know Lisa does because we've gotten some shirts from her. She provides all of my shirts for my events and activities. This young lady's name is Tracy. She's with Fruitful Apparel Clothing here on Instagram. Definitely check her out. Very spiritual woman.
Yes, she is.
Definitely the inspiration behind her clothing line has to do with her ultimate faith in God,
I love
and
it.
the lifestyle that she lives. And her shirts, she really does do a great job with custom shirts. She did an amazing shirt for Juneteenth for me, and she also did a great one for there was another event that I had going on, and it was just like she just created a shirt on the fly for me. So if you ever need a custom shirt, she has them. And she also does Living Life Unashamed. That's one of her series. She does the King and Queen shirts. And this one is my favorite, this blue shirt in the middle. We're all mad here. She did that shirt for me for an Alice in Wonderland themed event that I went to. So definitely love Tracy over at Fruitful
Yes,
Apparel Clothing. And we're winding
absolutely.
down now. Last but definitely not least is our favorite salon for nails, pedicures, brows, lashes, waxing, the One Beauty Lounge here in Hollywood, Florida. Chelsea, has been on our show talking about her role at the One Beauty Lounge, which is her salon, as well
Hmm.
as her role on the podcast, the Chit Chat Live, which she is here on YouTube, so you can check her out. So check her out on Instagram so you can find connections to her sites. But she does a variety of services, very individualized service, a beautiful, very intimate spot. You're not
Hmm.
in there with a whole bunch of people. It's just you and her.
Yes,
And she definitely provides all the scents and the aromatics, and an experience, very relaxing, massaging, all that.
yes.
So definitely check out Chelsea at the One Beauty Lounge here in Hollywood, Florida. Whew. So we just went into it. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of a little bit of a feature on some of our Black entrepreneurs here, not only in South Florida, but also outside of our great state of Florida. Um,
Yes.
Definitely support us on Instagram at B is for Biz. And if you guys have any suggestions for any topics or any guests that you'd like to suggest, don't hesitate to send us a message. But we look
Yes.
forward to sharing with you again a little bit on some Black entrepreneurs. Any last words, Lisa, before we tune out?
I really like this segment, and I hope it looks like we have a little bit more month in August, so it looks like we'll be able to take some time and do more kind of featuring some of the businesses that's already been on the show, the entrepreneurs. So thanks everyone who's checking out this segment, and I hope that you will go out and support Black entrepreneurs in business.
Look, once we got the Maishan Denise cosign, I'm good for the day. Thank you so much, Maishan, for tuning in, and for all the folks who tend to catch the replays and tune in for our next episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.